On the second day of the campaign, we got probably what was the biggest surprise of my life.
We've just spent 2 weeks out in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Baja, working with a team of specialists in the Mexican government, looking for an elusive whale called the Perrin's beaked whale.
Perrin's beaked whale has never been seen before by anyone that recognized what it was.
We know that the animal exists because it is washed up on the shores of Southern California. We left from Ensenada and we were searching through an area that was 35,000 square miles.
I've developed these acoustic recording packages that drift around in the ocean with the currents. They have 2 hydrophones down to 150 meters deep, just to get the hydrophones, our ears, closer to the animals. We let them drift around for days to weeks, and then we recover the instruments, and then we have to download the data.
During one of those drops, we actually had 3 whales that came right next to the ship in perfect glass water. We took everybody by surprise.
It was clear it was a beaked whale. They surfaced very close to the boat, and then they came to us 2-3 times. They came back to the boat. It was the most amazing encounter of beaked whales that I've ever had.
This is fantastic.
Over the next several days, as we reviewed the data, all the photographs, the underwater images, the acoustic data that we collected in the vicinity of the animal, it became clear we didn't see Perrin's beaked whale. We saw something new, something that was not expected in this area, something that doesn't match, either visually or acoustically, anything that's known to exist.
With very subtle characteristics of coloration and markings.
It's easy to jump to the conclusion that we found a new species. I really believe it. I believe we found something that's truly unique and never found before. And this is like searching for the last mastodon that's still somehow in a valley somewhere on this planet, and then finding a unicorn instead. So it just sends chills up and down my spine when I think that we might have accomplished what most people would say was truly impossible.
The ocean is such a special environment, and the marine life is so rich, and there is so much that we're still discovering about it, and also the impacts that humans are having on it and how those impacts are detrimental. So I think it's really important that we do our best as humans to reduce our impacts and to conserve what we have now, because not only will the loss of species and habitats and whole climates impact the animals within those environments, but it's going to impact us as well.
There is so much unknown in science.
It proves to me that we really don't know what is on this planet and what we have, and how much more we need to take care of it, respect it, and try and find what else is out there that we need to look after. You know, we just continue to decimate what we have, and at the end of the day, as we decimate those species, we're destroying our own life support system.
There are a lot of reasons we should be protecting the ocean, and the scientific work that we do often reminds us that we don't know everything, and in the world that we're living in right now, we're learning that every single day. You find yourself staring into the ocean for hours and hours and hours. You see the garbage that passes through, you see the dolphins that are in it, you see sharks, you see turtles, you see fishing boats, you see islands, you see the sunset. You must respect it. You must respect it the entire time that you're there. It's going to be there when we're gone, and it's here right now with us.
Scientists say they've found a previously unknown whale species, a 1-ton mammal the size of a horse and may have been on the planet as long as humans. 3 specimens of the as yet unnamed species, a type of beaked whale, were seen in waters near the San Benito Islands off the coast of Mexico. U.S. scientists took photos and video of the animals and deployed a specialized underwater microphone to record the acoustic signals emitted by the whales, known as echolocation signals. Whales use echolocation, sensing objects from reflected sound waves that they emit, for hunting and navigation. After studying the underwater photographs, Experts noticed the tusk of the animals are in a completely different place from any other beaked whale, while its distinctive echolocation signals are also previously unknown. Experts are highly confident that the photographic and acoustic evidence reveals the presence of an entirely new whale species. The 3 whales were seen in waters 100 miles north of the San Benito Islands, a group of 3 remote islands located approximately 300 miles from the U.S. border. We saw something new, something that was not expected in this area, something that doesn't match, either visually or acoustically, anything that is known to exist, said Dr. J. Barlow at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography in San Diego, who led the expedition. It just sends chills up and down my spine when I think that we might have accomplished what most people would say was truly impossible, finding a large mammal that exists on this Earth that is totally unknown to science. Dr. Barlow described discovering the new species as, probably what was the biggest surprise of my life. Environmental genetic sampling, performed at the time of the sighting, is undergoing analysis and is expected to prove the existence of this new species definitively. People discover new species of beetle practically every year, but we're talking about a mammal here that's the weight of a large horse, Dr. Barlow told BBC Radio 4's Today program on Wednesday morning. It's a 1-ton animal that's coexisted on this globe with us for as long as we've been here, and yet no one has classified it, no one has recognized it as being something different. Beaked whales, like all cetaceans, emit distinct acoustic echolocation signals under the water. These sounds are unique to each species and can reliably identify the types of beaked whales present in the area. The beaked whales all make these very characteristic echolocation pulses, and they use it to find their food source, Dr. Barlow told Radio 4. They make a pulse, they wait for it to return, and they can tell the range and distance to the food that they're looking for. Beaked whale echolocation pulses are quite distinct because they have this characteristic upsweep to them. The discovery was by chance, as scientists had been investigating another species already known to science. Back in 2018, the team recorded an unknown acoustic signal in the waters north of the San Benito Islands. The signal, known as BW43, had been detected off the coast of California, and scientists believed it could be the sound of a species called Perrin's beaked whale, Mesoplodon perrini, which is known to science but has never before been seen live in the wild. The population size and geographic range of Perrin's beaked whale, which is one of 23 known species of beaked whales found in oceans around the world, are unknown. So on the morning of November 17 this year, the expedition on board Sea Shepherd vessel Martin Sheen set off to possibly link BW43 with Perrin's beaked whale. The team used underwater microphones called hydrophones to record echolocation. What they observed instead was the 3 unknown beaked whales surfacing in the waters off of Mexico's San Benito Islands. They were identified as beaked whales from their moderate size, their distinctive beak, like a dolphin's, and the fact they surfaced very close to the boat. But the 3 specimens were not Perrin's beaked whales or any other known species. And the acoustic signal emitted by the unknown species was not BW43 or any other sound known to science. What we ended up discovering when we saw the sighting was something completely different. I didn't realize they weren't Perrin's beaked whales until we started looking at the photographs, Dr. Barlow told Radio 4. A colleague in the vessel with me showed me a photograph. It had a tooth exposed in the adult male, as they do. It's more a tusk, but it was in the wrong place for where we were looking for, Dr. Barlow told Radio 4. At that point I realized we had something very different, something unexpected from the area. But it wasn't until I looked at the acoustic signals that we recorded in the same area a few hours later that I realized really how different it was, because the echolocation signals didn't match any known species. Click the link below to read the related article and watch the video coverage.